our separate Gmail and we set up a brand new Google Ads account. In the prior video. In this video, what we're going to do is actually start building our campaigns, which is pretty exciting. I have a entire campaign structure already built out, which looks like this, where we have specific ad groups built out. We have location ad groups, we have niche ad groups, we have negative keywords. So now it's just implementation and copywriting. So here's how you start. We're going to go into building a new campaign, plus new campaign. We're going to build it from scratch. So the primary focus of this is going to be leads, okay? So we're going to click leads. Now, I usually like to create campaigns without a goals guidance because it allows me to be more customized. So I'm going to do that because these goals are vague, right? Okay, so search. So select the result that you want to get from this campaign. We want to get phone calls and we want to get website visits. Okay, now we don't need to enter this in yet. And we're probably going to be using a call tracking number here. Okay, continue. Beautiful. So now we have our first campaign that we're going to build. We are going to remove, this is a Google Ads campaign, not a display campaign. So we're going to remove Google Display Network, like the plague. Okay. And we're going to also remove Google Search Partners. Okay. Okay, so we're just staying on the search network. I always go and make sure because they're always changing this. Okay, I just want to make sure that everything here is cool. We don't want an end date. Okay, campaign URL options. We do not want to set anything up for that just yet. I want to just build the structure of the campaign first. And we're not doing dynamic ads, so we're not going to enter domain. It's going to be a granular, ground-up campaign. Okay, so first things first, locations. We definitely don't want to target all of the United States. This campaign is an Arizona campaign. Now, we may want to exclude in the advanced search section downtown Phoenix. So let's see if that makes sense. It's 5. Let's see how big that area is. Yes, that's a pretty big area to exclude. And I just know from personal experience in Phoenix that there's a lot of travel for people in Phoenix. So a lot of people may pass through this Phoenix area, but live in Scottsdale, Mesa. So I'm not going to exclude. We discussed it because it's higher competition, inner city, but I'm not going to exclude it in this campaign. Location options, very important. We're going to set it up so that we target people in or regularly in your targeted locations, not people in or who show interest in your targeted locations. Why? Because when you target people who are regularly showing interest in your locations, they may be just looking for hotels. Let's say someone lives in, California, and this is an Arizona campaign. They may look for, they may have been looking for hotels in Arizona, and then they go and look for a lawyer. In this case, it's a lawyer campaign. They look for a lawyer, and lo and behold, they see an Arizona lawyer ad, even though they're located in California, right? And then another one is people in, or this is the exclusion setting. This is the targeting location setting. So you always want to go this detailed when you're doing it. So exclude, I want to be more exclusive, right? So, and I want to be and I want to be more tight with my targeting, and I want to be more wide with my exclusions so that it's a more targeted campaign. So I'm going to exclude people in or who show interest in my excluded locations just to be safe because it's a lower budget campaign. Language, English, audiences. We're not going to add audiences to this campaign. We're going to do keyword targeting. Okay, our budget overall is $100 per day. For the month, you won't pay more than your daily budget times the average number of days in a month. Okay, and what do you want to focus on? This is our bidding question. Okay, this campaign will use the maximize clicks bid strategy to help you get the most clicks for your budget. I know nobody who's ever hired my company to market them wants clicks. They want business. Okay, so I'm not going to take what's recommended here, like impression share or clicks. I'm going to go and select the bid strategy directly. Okay? And we're not going to do maximize clicks. We're going to do what they put at the very bottom. Okay? Because Google doesn't like giving up control. So we're not going to do target CPA because we don't have enough data for it. We're not going to do maximize clicks because that's not what we want. We're not going to maximize conversions because we don't have conversion data on a brand new account. Okay, so we have to start with manual CPC. It's the only way to get things pumping really quickly. Otherwise, there's learning periods that take weeks and weeks, and then ultimately you get no leads. Okay, so let's see. We have manual CPC set up. Okay, conversions. We're going to set up conversion tracking once we're done this. Set up conversion tracking for your account. We're going to do this right afterwards. We're going to show the ads all day. We're going to show them all day for now. Okay. For bankruptcy law, I was just thinking to myself, this is bankruptcy law, and I could see people who are going through financial troubles or bankruptcy doing research late at night, and I have a feeling there's going to be low search volume between 2 and 6 a.m. anyway, but if someone's up all night doing research, we don't want to miss an opportunity for a lower cost click just because it's at an odd time of day for a form submission. All right, here's another one. Do not optimize ads. Okay, why? So again, we're taking all these stock settings and we're changing it to manual settings. Very important to understand this here. So do not optimize. Rotate ads indefinitely. Why is this important? Okay, you want to rotate ads indefinitely because when you launch a new ad group or campaign, if you put it on optimize, Google's going to show the ad that's getting the most clicks so they can make the most money off of that ad. But clicks don't equal business. Okay, so there's no point in having Google automatically optimize ads based on the number of clicks an ad is getting, because if you get 5 customers from an ad off of 5 clicks, okay, and the other ad gets 100 clicks but 0 customers, doesn't matter how many clicks you got 5 customers from 5 clicks. So in Google's eyes, that's a low performing ad. They're going to stop showing that ad. But in your eyes, it's a profitable ad. So the reason we don't like to optimize the ads in an automated fashion is because data in Google's world, data does lie, right? Data can be not tied to the realities that are happening after you get that phone call or after you get that conversion to a customer, okay? And then also we want our split test to be statistically significant from the perspective that we don't want one ad to get more emphasis than another ad, which then makes our split test invalid when we're testing 2 ads against one another. So do not optimize. Very important. These are very little things you can do that are very, very important, okay? So in summary, do not optimize. We're doing all time because we were not given restrictions. Let's see. We changed this location setting, okay? So people in or regularly in locations, okay? Did our location options here, okay? And we're gonna name this campaign, let's name it that. And then one other thing I'm going to do, just because I get paranoid sometimes, is, I'm going to exclude areas around Arizona. Just to be safe. Beautiful. Okay. All right. So that's a good start. It's a good start. All right. So now we're going to go to the very bottom. We're not going to set up our site link extensions, call out extensions, or call extensions just yet. We're just going to create the core structure. The reason I don't like doing that is because I like to have, when we're creating creative campaigns, I like the ad copy to manifest through the creation of the campaign, rather than just fixate on, this is going to be our call out, this is going to be this extension, and then you have to work around that when you're creating the actual Google ads, which I don't like. I like having creativity kind of pop up when you're building the campaign. So save and continue. Alrighty. So now we're going to go through and create just one or two of our first ad group structures and ads. And it's going to be then replicated. So the location specific ad groups are going to be copied, and then the niche specific ad groups will be copied. And then we'll have to redo the wording for each one. So number one, I'm just going to show you where I'm pulling this from. So all I'm doing is going through these ad groups. So number one, I have Tempe. Beautiful. Now, bidding strategy. So now we're in the setup ad group section. We went through all of our campaign settings. So what I'm doing is I'm taking these ad groups that I've already created and literally just cutting and pasting the keywords I've already put together, which include broad modified keyword match types, which have the plus signs, phrase match types, okay, and then exact match type keywords. And that's it. We're not using anything without punctuation. So like if I were to type in Tempe bankruptcy lawyer, that is called a broad keyword. No bueno. We don't want broad keywords. We only want tight keywords. Sorry, I'm eating mango. Okay. So now we're going to just go down the list. Okay, so we have Mesa bankruptcy lawyer. 40. We've already created our bid strategy just to put, just to get things rolling for a day or two. Very well. And we're just going to keep adding these ad groups. Okay. Next, we have Tucson. Now, these are the top 3 areas of emphasis. Okay, 40. And we're just going to add in these keywords as well. Now, I'm going to stop here just because I want to make sure we get our ad copy right before I create all these ad groups. Save and continue. Okay. Great. So for the for the Tempe ad group, what they're asking is for what I'm going to do for my copywriting. Okay, so now we are in the phase of copywriting your ads on Google. Dun, dun, dun. This is where a lot of creativity and science comes in. So here is a completed campaign structure for a bankruptcy lawyer in Arizona. What we did here was, so we're actually not going after any of the bankruptcy lawyer or bankruptcy attorney keywords. We're just going after all the location-specific variations because it's a limited budget campaign. So if you saw any of the prior videos, you'll understand this is how we broke it all down. We have, all of our location ad groups, which are all the towns that had sufficient demand through the keyword planner. And then we have all of our niche ad groups, which include Chapter 7 bankruptcy, Chapter 13 garnishment, debt relief, BK lawyer, which is an abbreviation search, foreclosure, business bankruptcy, medical bankruptcy. And then I created another video on what I like to see in the ads themselves. So I'll just show you how we went through creating these ads. Just really quick. So for this one, we have the THE all caps. Remember, I really love capital letters and punctuation and numbers. So we have this spiced up. And then you'll look at our ad extensions. And what we're doing in our ad extensions is we're actually mentioning something relevant to the ad group. So for example, azbankrupt.com/garnishment gone, right? There's a little bit of alliteration there. It's relevant to the ad group. It's going to slightly help our click-through rate. So little things like that matter. We have that for, all of these niche ad groups. So let's look at Chapter 13. Arizona '(S), Chapter period 13 bankruptcy lawyer. So that's all thought through to make it spicy with all the punctuation, as I was saying. And then you'll see here the display URL says Chapter-13, just to keep it relevant to the ad group keywords that we're bidding on. So that was our strategy with creating the ads. Obviously, within each of these, we have our match types. For the higher traffic ones, we're just doing phrase match. And then for the lower traffic ones, we're doing, we're doing phrase and exact. For the lower traffic ones, we're doing broad modified just to increase traffic. So for this, for Arizona bankruptcy attorney and lawyer, we're literally just doing exact match keywords. And then we're going to see what comes in. And then if we feel we need to expand it, we'll expand it. But we don't want to waste any budget, for phrase match or broad modified keywords, because the Arizona bankruptcy attorney can pull in a lot of searches. And then for all of our niche towns, we're using broad modified, phrase, and exact with many variations. We like to throw more keyword variations for the ad groups that we like, that the client wants to emphasize. So if they say that, hey, we really want to target this town, Tempe, then we'll just be conscious of that, and we'll just throw more keywords into that ad group. And eventually we may spin off separate campaigns if we determine that we need to micromanage the budget a little more. And then one other thing I want to show you is how we did our negative keyword strategy. So if you remember, I have all of these negative keywords that we came up with. So I have all the custom negatives, town negatives, state full spelling, and then general negatives that we include in almost all of our campaigns. So for these are all at the campaign level. So, okay. So to add those, you literally just go to the campaign level. You go to, keywords here, and you go to negative keywords, and then you literally just add all those in, right? So you just cut and paste all those campaign level negatives in here, okay? Then we had some ad group negatives for the Arizona ad groups. So, okay, right here for like Arizona bankruptcy lawyer, we have negative keywords for this specific ad group. So you can see here For the lawyer ad group, I'm excluding the word attorney, right? I don't want to waste impressions on someone typing in bankruptcy, Arizona bankruptcy attorney, and then somehow Google registers that under the lawyer ad, and then you get a lower click-through rate. So I'm excluding the word attorney, but I'm also excluding every town that we have separate ad groups for, because a lot, like for example, Arizona bankruptcy lawyer, some people type in Phoenix, Arizona bankruptcy lawyer, so that could register under this ad group, and then it would defeat the purpose of having a Phoenix ad group, right? Same thing with Mesa, Tucson, Scottsdale. So I put the negative keywords in since we have separate ad groups for each of these towns, because I don't want the impressions to get wasted on the general Arizona keyword campaign. So that is a little bit of the strategy that we followed for this campaign. Next, we're going to be setting up all of the conversion tracking and call tracking and all that. So I hope that this is helpful.